How about now? Yes, now it's on. So it's 7:04, let's call this meeting to order. And the first order of business, if we could all rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Community Board 11's meeting tonight. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of business, in light of recent events that we all have heard about, the turmoil that's going on in other parts of the world, I would just ask for a moment of silence for all of those who have perished or who are suffering right now. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, the first order of business tonight we have is for our 2025 capital expense budget. It's a draft. There are copies up here if anybody would like. And the first order of business, I'm going to ask if anyone has any comments on either budget. Are there any comments, any suggestions, any edits? Okay. I'm going to close that piece of it. The next piece of it is... Close the public hearing. Do both? We do both at the same time? Oh, Monty says let's do it individually. So can I get a motion to close the public portion for the public hearing of the budget? Sal? Jeff? All in favor? Any nays? Any abstentions? Okay, so moving on. The other item was a street co-naming on Avenue T in West 7 for the Georgian Orthodox Church, to name it Old Tbilisi Way. The woman had come to speak to us last year about it. I don't believe she's here tonight, but today there's been an update with that, and that is the church and the bishop would like to put it on hold for right now. There's a possibility that they will be moving and finding a new location. And if that's the case, then they will do that location to have a street co-naming. So I would like to make a motion to table this street renaming until further notice, until we hear from the church and or the bishop. Angelo? Second. Okay. Any comments or edits before we move to the vote? All in favor? Any nays? Any abstentions? Okay, so disposed. At this point, I would like to call up our electeds who are here and their reps, if there's anyone who would like to say a few words. Do we have anybody? Okay, I think you're going to have to come up because we're live streaming, so...
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Zunaira Ahmed. I am the District Director for Senator Yuen Chu. I wanted to stop by and say a quick hello. I'll be here all meeting, so if you have any questions afterwards, please let me know. I have a few quick announcements. I brought a few copies from our office, the United States Constitution. If anyone would like a copy to take home, please do so. I also have parking calendars. Always comes in handy to have these things, put them in your car, keep them at home, take as many copies as you'd like. This Halloween, we will be doing a pumpkin and treat giveaway at our office, 6605 Fort Hamilton Parkway, during 3 to 6 p.m. on Halloween Day, Tuesday. So if you'd like to stop by, we would love to see you, give you some treats, no tricks. You can dress up. You don't have to. We encourage everyone to stop by. It's going to be a really fun day. We want to make sure our children are having fun, but also staying safe this Halloween. We will be having a pro bono legal clinic October 14th. So if you want to stop by to talk to some attorneys, get some legal advice, for about 30 minutes, you can sit down and have a quick chat with them. So thank you for having me all. You can get my email afterwards, but just grateful to be here.
Thank you. I think either one.
Hi, everyone. I'm Gabrielle Woods. I'm Councilman Justin Brannon's Director of Community Affairs. Like Zunera, I'll also be here all night, sitting right over there. If you have any questions, want to sign up for our e-newsletter list, anything like that, we can certainly discuss. Just a few events I wanted to make everyone aware of. The one that's coming up soonest is our mammogram bus. So we do this every year. We have it this year, Wednesday, October 25th. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on 3rd Avenue in Bay Ridge, pretty close to our office. You can just give us a call to make an appointment. And then we have several Halloween events back to back on Saturday, October 28th. We're partnering with the NIA. We're going to do a NIA Spooktacular. That's going to be on 11th Avenue between 66th and 67th Street. There will be treats and games and music and fun. And then we have the 5th Avenue Halloween Festival also happening, run by the 5th Avenue Bid. Then on Sunday, October 29th at Owl's Head, we have our yearly Owl's Head Halloween Festival. That is going to be, let's see what time. From 1 to 5. And then lastly, we have our e-waste and shredding event. So gather all your papers, get rid of the clutter. We'll be at the St. Anselm's parking lot on Saturday, November 4th, and that's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, I'm sitting right over here if you have any questions, want to sign up for our e-newsletter, and yeah, thanks. Have a good night. Thank you.
Hunter. Either one.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you all again. My name is Hunter Rabinowitz. I'm the community board liaison for this community board from the borough president's office. I just have two quick announcements. First, last week, the borough president announced the release of the comprehensive plan for Brooklyn. The plan includes a snapshot of conditions across the borough and lays out the borough president's vision for a healthier and more equitable Brooklyn. It serves as a guiding document for the borough president's decision-making that provides transparency and predictability to residents across the borough and a model for the city to see how we can better plan in NYC. You can read the comprehensive plan on our website. I also have a QR code that you can scan, so if anyone would like to do that, I will also be here all night. I'm sitting right over there. And secondly, for community board members, there should have been an email for an introduction to fair housing from HPD. It's going to be online on October 30th from starting at 7:30. So if you didn't get that, let me know. And thank you all so much. I will be here all night.
Thank you. Who else do we have who would like to speak? Come on up.
Good evening. My name is Danielle Shapiro. I work at the High Lawn Library. Tambi is here from the New York Library. The first week of October was Banned Book Week, and there was, as everybody knows, there was a 33% ban last school year across the U.S. And because books for teens are the most often banned in challenges, BPL's Book Unbanned initiative offers a national e-card for young people ages 13 to 21 to access BPL's entire digital collection. More than 7,000 teens have applied for the card from all 50 states, and they have checked out more than 156,000 books. BPL is teaming up with PEN America to host the Freedom to Read Advocacy Institute on Thursdays from October 19th through November 9th from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. This is an online 4-week educational and training program for high school students. It will prepare and certify the next generation of free expression advocates. Hispanic Heritage Month, in honor of it, BPL is hosting a lot of programs. If you visit our website, you can see throughout the borough where we are having programs. The High Lawn branch will be hosting the Kalpuli youth dancers at 2 o'clock on November 18th. Okay. And for the last year, BPL has worked to translate more of our resources and provide more ESOL classes, particularly as we welcome more asylum seekers. Ready Set Kindergarten has started last weekend. It's a 6-week program. There are still 5 weeks. It's for children ages 3 to 5 and their caregivers. Each week at select libraries and online, families will enjoy stories, activities designed to help the child get ready for school. Families receive free materials to continue to learning and fun at home. High Lawn is one of the locations that is doing it. November 11th, because they're closed, will not be class, but it will finish on November 18th. Also, there is the Teen Council. If you'll excuse me so I can show you the flyer for that. Teen Takeovers, Teen Council up until October 13th. Teens can sign up for this, and it is allowing them to have a say of what's happening in the libraries. Flyers are up here for what is happening at both branches, as well as for Ready Set Kindergarten and the advocacy for the teens. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else from the public who would like to speak? Captain Lau.
Hi, good evening. Captain Lau from the 62nd Precinct. Just wanted to address what's going on overseas. Right now, we have no credible threats in New York, no credible threats in the 62nd Precinct, but I just want everybody to be rest assured, we are taking what's happening serious. So we have deployed House of Worship auto, multiple autos per tour. These autos are going to sensitive locations, House of Worships, and schools. When they get there, they do directed patrols. They go around looking for suspicious persons and suspicious packages. But I just want everybody to know that the 62nd Precinct and the New York City Police Department are taking what's happening overseas serious, so we are deploying accordingly. Like I said, these autos, all they're doing is going to these houses of worship, and they're not, doing the usual policing, but they're doing directed patrols for presence and also for deterrent, and to see if there's anything out there.
Captain Rao, a quick question, if I may. I heard someone today from the borough of Staten Island, and it may have been a private school. They're doing a soft lockdown yesterday at the schools. I know you said there's no credible threat in houses of worship, but many of them, even Hatzola yesterday, had a car outside. Is there any reason to be concerned about our schools, knowing that there's this thing out there about tomorrow being some kind of international day of outrage or jihad?
Yeah, so we're aware of that. No, the police department is aware of this. We received that threat yesterday, as I assume mostly everybody got. The threat has been vetted by an intelligence unit. Like I said, we're not only visiting houses of worships, but we're visiting schools also and doing directed patrols there. If we get anything, of course, we would advise the council board, and we would also advise the schools. But right now, there's nothing, no credible threats here.
Thank you, Captain. Okay, one last question, and that's it. We really must not be doing this.
See if you stopped me the other day that my friend owns a retail shop next door. So there's 2 rehabilitation centers and basically a lot of Jewish people in the place. And they thought that they could get a patrol car or something to stand in front of there. Because they feel there's a little bit of need for it in case. Is there any way they could go about it? I know the board called up the community board yesterday.
Okay, we could take that offline then. This is one particular request. Anyone else from the public who would like to speak? I thought there were people who signed up who wanted to speak. Yes, there you are.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm here with my back row, my neighbors, because we're here for solutions. Our area is a very high flood area, and there are many factors. Largely, it's whether people believe or not, it's the trees. We can't handle the leaves coming off the trees. When in a heavy rainstorm, we get tremendous amount of leaves that suction onto the sewers. We had the sewers enlarged. We know for a fact that it was botched because we were home. My husband and I were home when a supervisor came and was furious with the crew about something that went, and we believe that there was a cover-up. So that's part of the problem. Now, in the middle of a storm, what happens with us is that we get waves, tidal waves, because of the truck traffic. I have pictures of MTA buses on a regular basis. Our truck traffic has increased considerably. We had many things that failed us. One of our neighbors was stuck in her basement. FDNY came and they got her out of her basement. But did they think that it was basically an isolated incident? Or, I mean, I can show you, you would not believe. I have a basement apartment. The water was over the top step going down. I had my Christmas and everything downstairs floating up. The tidal waves that the traffic caused, and there was a police car that did pass and didn't have, this is a common sense thing, I believe. If you look around and see if people are creating tidal waves, someone should have the common sense to say, let's cordon this area off. Let's stop the waves from coming in. Our back doors were blown in. Everything from my kitchen went into my bathroom. Complete devastation. And I'm out there, my mom, as a matter of fact, the day before, my mom fractured her hip and I was at the hospital till 1 a.m. So I guess I was, a little, dizzy to call 911 and say, we need help here. We need help here. We need someone to come and stop the traffic from creating the tidal waves. So we're here for solutions. I feel like a broken record. I feel like I'm constantly complaining about the traffic, which is now worsened, and that caused the tidal waves. So, and the trees. We have a tree that's, the limbs keep coming off. I keep complaining. We need it to be trimmed back considerably. I also found out that we were given these other smaller little cute city trees. Like we needed more trees, like a hole in the head. Okay? I was told that I could have refused these trees back in 2020. And, okay, so then I couldn't have refused these. Okay. But we have a problem with leaves, so you keep giving us more trees in our area. Yet I go down certain blocks, and they don't have as many trees as we do. Or don't have any. So, anyone who would like to see, yeah. Oh, okay. We live on West 12th and Avenue T, like Thomas. We live right across the street from Gesher Yehuda, the two yeshivas. But our area also, we were supposed to get repaved after the work was done. Then COVID hit. Okay, we understand. But the pitch is toward our houses, and we're still waiting to be paved. So, like I said, there's many factors. We should have had more response from the certain agencies to help us stop the flow of water. We had neighbors that actually had the common sense to put their cars, and so people couldn't come down West 12th toward from S to T. So we stopped them coming from there. But people are constantly speeding. I have a really dangerous corner, at least 10 times, 12 times a day. There's almost near head-on accidents. I don't know why we're not getting a light. We got a speed camera, but the speed camera, goes off constantly, so it's a moneymaker. So basically, they're not going to give us a light. but this is a whole problem in our area, and my neighbors can tell you we're out there 4, 5, 6 times a day picking up, bagging leaves. I bag leaves for people who are selling their houses or not even in the house, and I go down the block. I even had, as a matter of fact, I have all the tree census. This our lovely tree census. If anyone doesn't know this, every tree on your block has a serial number. And that tree has more rights than the rest of us. So my house can keep getting flooded, but you know what? Let's long live the trees. What more can I say? We need help on many, many fronts. So, basically that's why we're here. And I'm hoping to see some change. And my husband will tell you about the when they came and they tried to repair these sewers, but apparently they didn't do us any favors because they're not helping whatsoever.
Thank you, dear. As you can tell, my wife is a little agitated about this. We've been fighting the leave situation on our block since July of this year. It's not a new thing. This is constant. I bag a minimum of 5 bags a week of leaves, minimum, and that's without rain. Nobody else is helping. All my neighbors do their best, but at the end of the day, I have 4 sewers come directly to my corner. They spent 9 weeks, the summer before COVID, 9 weeks trying to figure out how to redirect the storm drains. In the middle of that project, New York City supervision came when I happened to be home, and he stopped the project and fined the construction company for misreading, cutting open the street improperly. They got reamed, and I'm telling you, I'm a union guy. I worked in the union for 40 years. I'm very surprised that that contractor was not thrown off the job for misusing city funds. Thousands of dollars. My grass was polluted from mounds of blacktop, which were left on the corner for weeks at a time. Every time it rained, that would well up, killed my trees, killed my grass. I haven't said a word. I've spoke to my insurance company. You know what he said to me? You're Zone A. Unless you want to spend an extra $300 a month, we'll be more than happy to give you flood insurance. Great, that's fine. Who's got $300 a month extra? So I should stop eating so that I can have flood insurance for something that should be resolved. It's unfair. It's not right. We've put up with this for far too long. To be very honest with you, I've spoken with an attorney, and I know there's an indemnification against that, but you know what? If we don't get some action, there will be a class action lawsuit filed against the city by every single person on my corner. We're done. We're not putting up with this shit anymore. I'm sorry I had a curse, but that's the way it is. If nobody that wants to do anything about it, we'll hire an attorney who's familiar with this type of work, and he will get some results. We don't want to do it, but we will if we have to, because we've had enough. I've been doing this for a long, long time, and we're not going to be doing it any longer. We have to continue to fight the trees and fight everything else. We're going to open up one more fight. Thank you.
Thank you. Since we just started, Assemblyman Lester Chang has come in. Would you like to say hello to everyone?
Hey, good evening. Thank you for everyone being here. Sorry I'm late. I just came from a meeting from Community Board 7. And a little bit alarming. Just give you a heads up that there is a first-time applicant in Brooklyn for cannabis shop setting up at Sunset Park. So they are coming. They are coming. Now, there is a precinct captain, actually Inspector Suarez is there, and I was waiting for my turn to ask the questions, but she was so deep into it, and I trust her. After this, I'll give her a call. But she is for us because she asked very hard question at this established shop. They have 2 shops in New Jersey, but New Jersey is not Brooklyn, and it's going to be very different. So just give you a heads up on that. They are coming, and we have to be watchful and mindful of legal shops right now. Thank you very much. Sorry about that.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public who would like to speak? Any other comments? Going once, going twice. I'll make a motion to close the public portion. Second. All in favor? Any abstentions? Any nays? All right, then we're moving right along. First order of the business is for September 7 minutes. Please note they need to be amended to reflect that Kerry Hines was present at the meeting. Are there any other edits or corrections to the September 7th minutes? Okay, hearing none, I'll make a motion to accept the September 7th minutes, as long as they're amended. Any second? Sal? All in favor? Any nays? Any abstentions? Okay, moving on. So now I'd like to dispose of the the one and only, the public hearing for the capital and expense budget recommendations for fiscal year 2025. Before we move on with that, are there any comments or edits from the board members? Okay. Hearing none, someone wants to make a motion to accept. Claudio is making a motion to accept the recommendations as presented. Do we have a second? Roy is seconding. All in favor? Any abstentions? Any nays? Okay, moving along. The street co-naming, as I mentioned earlier, does have to be tabled because of the church and the bishop. So there's really nothing for us to vote on because I do want to make a motion that we table it and get a second on that. Second from Jeff. All in favor of tabling the Tbilisi Way? Got it. Committee reports. Ross has a wonderful committee report for us. It's all yours.
Thank you so much. Good evening. We had a meeting last night, hosted with our thanks at the Atsola facility on 323 Avenue S. At that meeting, we had two points of business. The committee did have quorum, and we voted in response to an issue which I'll get to second. Let me dispose of the first issue. We had a presentation for the project at 166 Kings Highway. It's a rezoning from what's an R6B to an R7, basically a 6-story to a 10. Nothing has changed from previous presentations. This was the Del Rio Diner, if you remember where that is on Kings Highway. It's an area that's surrounded by R7A district, which are 95-foot buildings. This would be 105 feet. We'll have 50 parking spaces and some other amenities. And there was some discussion about parking and some other issues. This was, again, another presentation. We had a presentation some months before. So there's nothing different about the project at this point. But it's brought back again because in about 4, I believe, if I have it correct, between 4 to 5 months, it should be certified. It's not certified yet. Once it's certified, it will go through the ULURP process, and we'll have a public meeting, a public hearing here with another presentation, and we'll discuss it. So that was a courtesy. The second point of business, and we did get an opportunity to vote, has to do, and the Assembly member mentioned cannabis licenses and dispensaries. And I'll just tell you, I'll read this directly so I get it right. On October 4th, New York State opened the application window for adult use retail dispensary licenses for the retail sale of marijuana. In CB 11, we received notification of 5 licensing applications that were filed with the state. The locations are 1736 Shore Parkway, 6617 18th Avenue, 6815 Bay Parkway, a few blocks away from each other, 1981 86th Street, and 2254 86th Street. So there's a 30-day window to provide an opinion, is what they're calling it, a request for a 30-day extension to do that. The committee got a chance to discuss it, and what we decided, I don't know if we have to present it here, but since we have a quorum, to request that 30 days and to have meetings with zoning and public safety to come up with several things. What are our rubrics for reviewing these particular applications, and what are our issues and concerns before bringing it to you at the with possibly a recommendation at our next meeting. So I suppose I would be putting in a motion to approve that request for the 30 days and for the purposes of doing what I just said. And it's up to you to pick out who. Sal and Jeff. Seconds. All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Stands carried. Thank you. And that is my report, Madam Chair.
Thank you. So the committees have a lot to do.
Yes.
It's going to be, and Monty, but it's a lot. But we do need to have some sort of framework and some sort of rubric to go by, because I'm sure there's going to be other applications that come in. So, but thank you. And last night, thank you to the Hatzela for hosting us. It's a really lovely space on Avenue S, and they were very, very gracious. And with that, I also like to say thank you to Bensonhurst Rehab for hosting tonight. Thank you, Ed, for setting this up, and for afterwards all the delicious refreshments that he has provided, too. So as an update for my report, the executive committee met. Now, the executive committee is not just the offices, but it's every single committee chair. So we met on September 27th to go over multiple items. One of them was about meeting locations and about moving it around CB district and not staying in one location for every meeting. We also talked about attendance. And we, like last night, we do have a few other places in mind, but if anybody has any idea to reach out to me, Monty, let us know. One of the 2703. Monty, you're doing. We're counting to see that we have quorum, that wonderful quorum. Quorum is half the members plus one. So currently we're at 46 members, which means 23 plus one, we need 24. So when you walked in, I said, oh, thank you, because you made 24. Our bylaws do stipulate that members can be removed for substantial non-attendance at meetings for a period over 6 months. The executive committee decided that, and asked Monty to send letters out to members who have not attended a meeting for more than a year to see if their circumstances have changed since they were appointed. So now we're talking about members that they weren't just appointed this June, it was the June before. So they haven't been to ever a meeting. We never heard from them. It's over a year. So one of them was that she had reached out to and still have not heard back. So I am going to make a motion tonight to remove this board member from Community Board 11. The name is Yusuf Tsouli, Tsouli, and I would like to make a motion to remove this person from the board who hasn't come or have any correspondence with us whatsoever in over a year. So that's my motion. Do I have a second? Do I have any nays? Any abstentions? All in favor? Thank you. So that's unfortunately what we're going to have to do going forward to people who don't respond back to us and just never show up to a meeting at all. We're going to have to take the action on our side to do something about that. Our quorum is 24 right now, 23 plus 1, because we're at 46. Okay. In addition to that, Monsignor David Casado has stepped down. He's not interested in serving on the board any longer. He's semi-retired, and he was on our board for many years, so we do thank him for all the years that he was on the board and came to meetings. Also, who just recently resigned this week is Janet Perry, who was also on the board for a number of years, and she was very faithfully involved and came to everything, but personal circumstances have dictated that she needs to resign. So we do thank her also for all of her service. Janet was the chair for the Public Safety Committee, so at this point, he's not here tonight, but I would like to appoint Tim Law. Oh, he is here tonight. I'm sorry. I'm short. I'm short, so I can't see overheads. I know.
Let's not have a contest.
That's hard. So I would like to ask if you please accept to be chair of Public Safety. Great. All right, thank you. And moving right along, we have our lovely district manager's report, Marnie.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to jump around in my report and address some of the issues that were brought out during the public portion regarding the major flooding that happened on September 29th. As you know, we had record rainfall, and many areas of the district flooded. I mean, we received 5 inches of rain in a very short period. So what I did was, because we were in the process of doing the capital budget and advocating for needs of the community, I pulled the 311 data and to see where the calls were coming from, if it was widespread or in one location. And what I found was that in the areas of Avenue P to 86th Street, from West 9th to Stowell Avenue, and 86th Street to Bath Avenue, from Bay 31st to 26th Avenue. Can you visualize? Are you with me? It's kind of a triangle that comes down. Was totally underwater, as well as the Belt Parkway. So while our capital budget recommendations include infrastructure and resiliency priorities, the board may want to consider calling upon DEP to conduct a stormwater drainage study of that area and identify adequate stormwater management and capture. I think that's just a starting point. And in addition, in relationship to the pitch and the way the catch basin, the chairperson has advised me to call for an on-site meeting with DEP. So we will try and organize that on your corner with your neighbors, and I'll keep in contact to do that. So I don't know if you want to entertain a motion to call upon a drainage study. Part of the problem is that when we do the capital recommendations, we receive responses coming back. More study is needed. Further information is required. I mean, we were under 4 feet of water. You had tidal waves coming into your house. This is more immediate, and I don't want to wait for the process, right? When we submit our recommendations, it goes to Office of Management and Budget. Then it goes to the different agencies. They weigh in, and then we get it back, I believe, in April. We have a public hearing on the responses. Way too long. I mean, in August, we had a microburst. We had significant damage in the area of 75th Street. This is a significant problem. I mean, if you saw videos, 86th Street was underwater. Buses, were you on the routes?
I was on the avenue doing something, and it was underwater.
It was underwater. So I think it's more of an immediate and not necessarily one for the capital priorities. If you want to move that, to call for a drainage study in that area or a discussion on it.
Can I make that motion? You're fine with that.
So that's fine.
I'm good.
I make that motion. We got to do that. It was just bad. It was horrible.
It was awful. I know. Listen, I think, and this is my opinion, right? Coming to work, I was stuck on the highway. I mean, it was underwater. The highway wasn't closed in areas. Coming this way, I come more east to west. Ocean Parkway, cars were still getting on. Cropsey Avenue and Coney Island was underwater. I mean, we were just behind in the amount of flooding that came so quickly. So I will get this motion out to DEP, and I will be in touch with you, and you can coordinate with the neighbors, and if we get a response, let's do this. Okay? Okay. So, there was recently an article published online regarding permits filed for 8521 25th Avenue for a new 6-story building with ground floor community facility and hotel above. I just want to advise, because there's a lot of speculation, the property is in a C8-2 zoning district, which legally permits a hotel use. We have received no other information or notification regarding the use of this property. If we hear anything, of course, I will come back to the board and provide an update. The mayor yesterday announced a plan to containerize waste at approximately 95% of residential properties across the 5 boroughs. Beginning in the fall of 2024, buildings with 9 or fewer residential units will be required to place all trash in secure containers and in specific official New York City bins beginning in the summer of 2026. The official bins will be available from a vendor through a request for proposal, which was released yesterday. I am taking this from a press release. We have not received the rule change or any further information. But I wanted to share that because it was publicly announced. And finally, the Department of Transportation completed studies for the need of additional traffic controls and approved new signals at 18th Avenue and 74th Street, 20th Avenue and 76th Street, Bath Avenue, and Bay 37th. And unfortunately, I'm just going to go back and address the issue with the traffic signal. As you know, we put in multiple times for studies of that corner. It has to meet guidelines that are issued by the Department of Transportation and follow federal and state guidelines, and they claim it doesn't meet the metrics, and that's why we haven't received it. If it's more than 18 months since the last submission, we can resubmit and ask for another study, and we will do that. That's it.
Thank you, Marnie. All right, moving on. Do we have any old business? Anyone have anything from old business? Okay. What about new business? New business.
On Tuesday, October 17th, the 62nd Precinct Community Council is going to be having our monthly meeting at 7 p.m. at El Centro, which is at 8711 18th Avenue. It's near Benson. Please try to come. As usual, we will have our captain there and other police officers. If you have any issues or concerns you want to address, that is the time to do it, because any questions you have, Captain Lau will be there to answer them for you. Also, at the edge of the table, we have some bulbs that we put together. It's distributed by the 62nd Precinct Council, but it was given to us by the Parks Department. And it commemorates the all those people that died during 9/11 and COVID-19. So please help yourselves. They look really beautiful. They have to be planted before the first frost. Also, the library and the precinct will be having Halloween parties on the same day, October the 31st. The flyers are over there. The Friends group is going to have it at the library from 2:30 to 3:30. And then right after that, the precinct is having it from 4 to 5. The library is also going to be honoring veterans on November the 13th. Please join us. We have flyers for that as well. Also, if you want to give us your name and email address, please do so. What we'll do is we'll add you to our list, and we usually send out 2 or 3 informational emails that have to do with crime prevention tips, information about the neighborhood, and then any kind of happy happenings. That's it.
Marnie, you have any new business? Sure. Come up, talk.
No, the very short announcement. Well, no, if you do it through the microphone, because we're live streaming, and Mark will yell at me.
Thank you. Mr. Chairperson, I'm shorter than you. Stand up. Okay, short announcement. Okay, this is Saturday, October 14 on the sidewalk, Cephalo Park. New York State Assemblyman Mr. Colton and the Community Center conduct a voter registration campaign. very, very important because November election coming up. If you know your friends, relatives still did not register to vote, please tell them to register to vote. It's very, very important. We need volunteer. If you want to help me, I cannot do it alone. I need volunteer. Okay, we got one here already. Okay, then let's do the voter registration on this is Saturday, October 14, from 11 o'clock to 1 p.m. Okay, let's do it together. Thank you very much.
And if you don't mind, may I say something else, Lori? Yeah, what'd you forget? Just so you know, I found out on Sunday that Assemblyman Colton had been in a car accident, which I didn't know about. And he's okay, he's recuperating. I called the office, and he's doing well. So if you want to give him a buzz in his office and, you know, just wish him well, we'd appreciate that.
Any other new business? Assemblyman Chang?
I don't have flyers yet, but it'll be very soon. On October 24th, Tuesday, I'll be holding a town hall meeting at New Utrecht High School. New Utrecht High School at October 24th after 6 p.m. It'll be information, and I'm inviting different agencies to come in, hopefully answer some of your questions like DSNY, Department of Sanitation, Department of Buildings, all those type of agencies. I hope I'm trying to get them, herd them in, and for you guys to ask those guys questions. But October 24th, 6 p.m., Town Hall meeting. Thank you very much. New Utrecht High School.
Any other new business? Ross had another.
Just quickly, coming down the pike, I guess in full disclosure, I work for the Department of Buildings. I'm not speaking for the Department of Buildings at this time. This is just a matter of public information. There will be a public online hearing regarding fire gas alarms, which they're proposing to make a requirement. Whenever you have a gas stove, you have furnaces, anything else, much like a fire alarm, or the smoke detecting systems that you have, they would be required. So I would say perhaps we'll ask Frank Fontano, I think is still the rep from DOB, to come and discuss it next month, because it'll be on November 20th. You can look out for it at it's tinyurl.com/natural gas alarms. If you're interested in finding out information about it, but we can have someone speak to that because I believe our meeting will be before November 20th. But just be on the lookout, and I'm told, hardwired, these things cost about $170, but at Home Depot you can get the battery operated one for $30, but it would be a new requirement, so just to give you a heads up on that, it's public information, and thank you very much.
Any other new business? So hearing none, shall I make a motion, 7:51, to adjourn? All in favor? Robert, was that a nay? No. Thank you all. See you next month.
Everyone, please